Hi, and thanks for taking some time to watch today's Connect video. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. And my name is Steve Van Kley. I'm the lead pastor here at Canyon del Oro Bible Church in Oro Valley, Arizona, just north of Tucson. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss a recent Supreme Court decision that is in favor of free speech for counselors. So on October 7th of last year, 2025, the U.S. Supreme Court heard oral arguments in Chiles v. Salazar, a First Amendment challenge to Colorado's law that prohibits, quote, conversion therapy, end quote, for minors. Kay Chiles is a Christian counselor. Patty Salazar is the executive director of the Colorado Department of Regulatory Services. So that's who's behind Chiles v. Salazar. So the decision on this case was released by the court about a month ago or so. The decision was an 8-1 decision in favor of Kay Chiles, the Christian counselor. The decision strikes down the Colorado law which prohibited, quote, conversion therapy for minors. Christianity Today, in a headline, referred to this decision as a win for Christians. I would propose it's a win for everyone, not just Christians here. Let me give you some background here so you understand the issues. So in 2019, Colorado passed the Minor Conversion Therapy Law, the MCTL, which prevented licensed mental health practitioners. They could no longer engage in therapy with minors with a goal to, quote, change an individual's sexual orientation or gender identity, including efforts to change behaviors or gender expressions or to eliminate or reduce sexual or romantic attraction or feelings toward individuals of the same sex. All right. However, though, the statute allows counselors to provide, quote, acceptance, support, and understanding, close quote, to help minors undergoing gender transition, transgenderism, and all that stuff, all right? So let's look at the issue and recent history with what is called conversion therapy. That's the buzzword in the term used. So conversion therapy is an umbrella term for treatments based on the school of psychology called behaviorism. Before the 1970s, so we're going to go back a few years here, right? Before the 1970s, behaviorism was in the mainstream for psychological treatment. It tried to cure homosexuality by associating homosexual impulses with painful electric shock or bitter drugs and other painful and uncomfortable, unpleasant stimuli. Remember, this was in the psychological treatment mainstream at the time. Unfortunately, for a period of time, many Christian groups had adopted this kind of therapy. However, this is not at all what Christians or counselors are promoting and practicing today. Kay Chiles and many modern Christian counselors apply something which is called change-allowing therapy, and it is totally voluntary. Collaborative talk therapy is common for a wide array of behavioral struggles such as pornography, promiscuity, and various addictions. You can get help for every problem, that is, except for two, in a growing number of places in America. If a young person struggles with same-sex attraction or desire to be the other sex, it is illegal. It's against the law for a therapist to help him or her try to reduce or avoid acting on either of those desires. In these jurisdictions that have these laws, the therapist is required by law to affirm that internal gender identity, all right, what they feel inside, not what they are. Okay, the counselor, the therapist is required by law to affirm that internal gender identity or same-sex attraction, that it is unchangeable and that the hormonal or surgical alteration of sex characteristics is, quote, natural and, quote, healthy. Currently, 29 states and several dozen cities and counties have fully or partially banned therapies that may take a different approach to this. Violators are subject to hefty fines, typically 5-figure fines per violation. The 8-1 Supreme Court decision handed down about a month ago invalidates many of those laws. 8-1 is not, it's very rare in today's court. Of course, the one dissenting vote, the one dissenting opinion here is Ketanji Brown Jackson, and tells you something. Dr. Paul Sullins, he's a Catholic priest, a professor of sociology at the Catholic University of America, and senior research associate of the Ruth Institute. He points out in an article that advocates of change-allowing therapy claim very high rates of therapeutic benefit. He says this, listen to these numbers, that more than 85% of youth with gender confusion reportedly choose to remain in their biological sex after therapy. 85%. About 2/3 of same-sex attracted individuals report reduced same-sex attraction. All right, what are some takeaways here? Supreme Court decisions are not the most exciting thing for most people, so why? Who cares? Okay, well, why is this a good decision? 3 things. Number 1, it allows counselors, therapists, to provide care based on the needs of the patient without the state dictating what can or cannot be said. So this decision makes all sorts of conversations an option in counseling relationships while barring states from privileging certain kinds of speech. Right? It allows the counselors, it gives them freedom to have all kinds of conversations. Anytime the government is prohibited from playing favorites regarding speech, Americans, including Christians, we should all rejoice on that. Number 2, why this is good. We can all be thankful the government cannot impose restrictions on the sensitive conversations patients have with their counselors. Patients, including minors, struggling with questions about their sexual identity or their sexual orientation, they should want counselors to approach them with the highest degree of professionalism and attention to care, not with an eye toward what state regulations require them to say or not to say. And thirdly, we can all be encouraged by yet another favorable Supreme Court decision in favor of religious expression. And that is a huge blessing for us living in this country, that so many people in the world and throughout world history have never had that freedom of religious expression. Here's the sources. I used a lot of them with this one. So there's a source page here. There's quite a few articles here that if you wanted to read through those things, I would encourage you, but there's a lot of information. I just wanted to make sure you saw all the things that I had accessed in order to create the video and get a good sense of what this was about. Now, in my video next week, Pastor Justin is going to join me, and we are going to discuss social media and why it matters. And I would encourage you, if you're someone that doesn't care about social media, it's like, who cares about it? You need to watch this video that we're going to do in the next couple of weeks, okay? The target audience for this is those who really don't care about it. So just make sure, try to watch the next couple videos. I think they'll be really important. So thanks for taking a few minutes to connect with me here today on the video. I hope you can join us this coming Sunday. I'll be finishing our sermon series, our short series on that we call Why, answering different questions about God, why he does or why he doesn't do certain things. This Sunday's focus is this: why are there no miracles today like we read about in the Bible? All right, we're going to cover that topic. Service times, 9:15 or 11 o'clock. And would love for you to be with us in person. If you're not able to be here, though, in person, we do have a live stream, and they do a tremendous job with it. To watch the live stream, you can go to our website. There's a link on Sunday mornings there on the website. You can click on that link. Or you can go straight to our YouTube channel. Search out Canyon del Oro Bible Church in YouTube there. Click on our logo. Go ahead and subscribe, and then join us there for the live stream. Again, thanks for watching today. I pray you have an amazing week, and I pray that you are a blessing to everyone that you meet. Bye-bye.